Take it, buddy.
Okay, so you don't want to try that title there? It's
No, that's too long.
So yeah, it started as a working title and then just stayed there. But this is
Where'd
blog.
it go? It just says blog topic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got a better title in mind. This is blog number 150 actually. So it's like 3 years worth of
You're
writing
catching it.
here.
You're catching up to the weeks we've been on air.
Yeah, if we keep going, I'll catch up.
Yes, you will.
So what I'm writing about this time is
That's really 150. That is. That's about 3 years, isn't it? That's awesome, man.
about one a week.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's
So,
amazing.
You've seriously done a fantastic job. I think you're an
thank you.
enormous credit. I
Who'd
say
have
it.
thought?
I say it all the time. Some of the best Second Amendment content on the internet, and it all comes from Joe, and I really appreciate it, man.
Yep. Great. Well, thank
Same
you.
here.
So yeah, talking about armed self-defenders and those of us that carry, a lot of us train, and the title here we're working with is do those around you know what to do if you're involved in a critical incident? And many of us that train, or many of us that carry, train a lot. We try to learn a lot. We try to learn all the stuff we need to avoid that kind of thing. But what about the people that are with us? What about if you're out in public, you're out and about with your friends, with your family, with kids, and something happens? Do they know what to do? And I got interested in this. I was reading. Actually, I was looking at. I read Masada Ayoub's blog on Backwoods. Was it Backwoods Home Companion? I think he writes on there, and but he links to a lot of different places. And one of them was a guy named Greg Ellifritz, who is a retired law enforcement, and now he's a trainer, and he writes, and he's an author, does a lot of stuff. He's got a company or a site called Active Response Training. And he had an article on there where he was writing about this, and his the thing in the article was that do our instincts sometimes endanger our children? And the story, the thing he was writing about, there was an incident where a man was out with his infant child, and he was getting in or out of the car, and he had the child in the car seat, and he was approached by an armed robber, basically. So put the child in the car seat down, complied fully, gave the armed robber everything he wanted. As the robber was leaving, the robber decided he was going to turn around and shoot at them. So this father happened to be a concealed carrier. He pulled out his gun, he shot, he returned fire, and killed the robber, which is cool. So he did hit the robber, killed the robber, but the discussion was, or the question was, did the father inadvertently endanger his child by shielding the child? Because what the father did was he stepped between the robber and the child when all this was going on, like most parents would do to, get between the danger and the child. Mm-hmm. And, the question was, would it have been better maybe to create some space to draw the attention toward him rather than the child? So that's kind of where it went. And, the article was pretty good, talked about a lot of different things. But it's an interesting question because, especially for people that have small children, if you're out with your children, or even, if you discuss this with your spouse, if something happens, what do we do? What's the plan? And you'll see, if you watch John Correa regularly, he'll talk about that from time to time, because John has talked to his children. His kids are mostly grown now. But, his thing with his kids is, if you see dad's gun come out, get away. Move away, because his thinking is that, okay, if I have to pull my gun out for something bad is coming, and I want the bad to be coming at me. I don't want the bad to be coming at the family. So, I started thinking about that, because the reason I write these things, one of the reasons anyway, is not so much to give everybody answers to everything, but to get people to think about this stuff. Because if you think about it, ahead of time, then you're not trying to figure it out when it's happening. And, a lot of us that train, we think about this stuff, like we talk about being aware and the color codes and, condition yellow, condition white, that kind of stuff. Like sitting in here in the studio, for instance, we're probably pretty much condition white for the most part. Mm-hmm. But then, again, I do think about that stuff, though, because, I know where the two doors are.
I was going to say, somebody could knock down a door and just come busting in here, going after Mike.
Well, and I think about that stuff. I mean, because I'll notice this door, if they come down, I'll glance if I see movement through the glass in the hallway.
I look through the windows all the time.
Well, yeah, and I figure they'll get to Brendan or Chris. We'll hear them go down. That'll give us a couple of seconds. But,
and Chris screams really loud, so that's the only benefit. Brendan just grunts, so we wouldn't
leave me out of this, guys. Leave me out.
But that's the other thing, too, is, thinking about that stuff, taking the time to talk to your kids and your family, taking the time to think about it yourself. Okay, what would we do? What should we do? Yeah. And running scenarios is another good thing because, again, part of the condition yellow, those color codes, is just being aware. It's not being all hyped up and, crazed, looking around and everything, head on a swivel, that kind of stuff. But it's paying attention. And, you're looking for things that are out of place, basically. There's a great book out. I can't remember who did this now. It's a book called Left of Bang. I don't know if you guys have seen it. But they talk about that. It's when they were training soldiers over in Iraq. And they're training them to look for things that are out of place as a way to spot stuff that's going to happen. And, part of being aware out there is just looking at people. And actually, it's fun. I mean, I try to notice, or I try to look at people more now than I used to. I mean, I'll look, and I'm just out there because people are entertaining as heck if you watch for them.
Beats the movies.
And yeah, like now, I mean, I'll look around, I'll notice, if I see anybody carrying, or can I see somebody carrying, somebody printing, something like that. Because I got 5,000 at least now to look for. So, it's more fun.
Did I tell you my T-shirt idea?
No.
We want to do San Diego County Gun Owners T-shirts, and on the back, am I printing? But then I like half the people I talk to are like, I wouldn't wear that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's because Bill was giving me crap about that because I happen to have I had a Walter shirt on. So yeah, I wonder if he's carrying.
Were you printing?
But I wasn't printing, but I was carrying. So, but anyway, thinking about this kind of stuff, talking to your family, thinking about it ahead of time. Have you ever done that, Michael? You talk to Laura about that?
Yeah, we do. We probably talk about it more than a normal couple should.
But see, that's good though.
But yeah, she likes to talk about scenarios and what would you do, and we have a whole plan. We have a plan for when we're in our house, when we're in our bed, when we're
in our car,
when we're
well, don't you kind of case a joint like when you go to a restaurant or you go to someplace you haven't been before?
Yeah, I try. I don't want to sound like I'm some kind of
no.
I'm not like Jason Bourne. Yeah.
But you're not. But you pay attention.
I pick tables. I pick chairs.
Yeah, you can tell the guy at the bar can handle himself, and it's.
I'm actually.
I look for the doors.
I'll tell you a real quick story. We were driving with a bunch of friends. We were driving to go somewhere, and I saw this lady walking down the street, and I just something was off, and I was like, what's going on with this lady right here? And everybody's like, I don't know. I said, hon, my wife's driving. I said, slow down. Let's just ask her if everything's okay. And everybody's like, what are you doing? We're late. What the heck's going on? Pulled over. I said, hey, you okay? Everything all right? She's like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm fine. And we started to drive away. The guy in the back seat, a friend of mine, said, hey, that's my dog. This lady just stole this guy's dog. And from down the street for almost no reason, I was like, something is going on. So I've always, I don't know, I try not to, I've always seemed to have had this.
You should have been a cop.
My wife always says
or
that.
a detective.
I've always seemed to have this spidey sense where I'm just like, what's going on over here? What is wrong with this person?
Well, so we kind of
I get really uncomfortable.
But you know what? It's a knack. I've talked to my dad being a cop and everything. I've talked to police officers that have that, and it's a knack. It's something that not everybody has. I mean,
I get really uncomfortable, and I start eyeballing people, and when I'm walking down the street, I don't like people walking too close to me. I definitely don't like them walking behind me.
Yeah.
I'll just stop and put my back up against the wall and let them pass by.
And you weren't even in the military.
Wasn't in the military, not a cop. I'm nothing special.
Because military guys do
just
that all the time.
But
they have to sit to the wall to their back.
Yeah, but you do pay attention, though. I do all those things too.
I do too. I always have.
We should.
My wife, not even. I can bring an antique radio in,
I'm not going
set
there.
it over in the corner. She'll walk by that thing. She might even put something on top of it. And then I'll say, did you notice it's new?
Well, I'm not good with home decor. I mean, I've actually...
No, I'm just saying my wife is not observant at all.
I said, Laura, I called her out to her one time. I said, hey, Laura, where are my car keys? Have you seen my car keys? She said, yeah, they're under the clock. I said, we have a clock? Apparently, we'd had a clock mounted on the wall for like 10 years.
I had no idea.
Yeah, that's good to know.
You and Michelle are the same when it comes to that.
Thanks for watching this clip from Gun Owners Radio. You can watch us live every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, right here on our YouTube channel, or if you're in the San Diego area, you can listen to us on 1170 a.m. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform for free. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can help restore and protect the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.